In 1896, an impossible thing happened. A colonized people picked up their spears and shook an empire. This is the First Chimurenga, the armed uprising that terrified the British Empire, and almost no one knows it happened. How did a stolen land birth a revolution? How did spirit mediums lead warriors into battle? And why was this war buried from history? By 1890, Cecil Rhodes's British South Africa Company had seized Mashonaland. They called it Rhodesia. The Shona people had never agreed to that. Land confiscated, cattle seized, men forced into labor. By 1896, the Shona and Ndebele were starving and furious. Then a voice rose from the spirit world. Nehanda charwe nyakasikana, Mhondoro spirit medium. She said the ancestors demanded war. On March 20th, 1896, the Ndebele struck first. They killed nearly 10% of all white settlers in Matabeleland in a single week. 3 months later, the Shona rose. Guided by Nehanda and spirit medium Sekuru Kaguvi, they attacked mines, farms, and BSAC outposts across Mashonaland. London panicked. Cecil Rhodes himself rushed to Bulawayo. The British sent Maxim guns, artillery, and thousands of reinforcements. One uprising had rattled an empire. Spears against Maxim guns, assegais against artillery, and still, the Shona and Ndebele held out for over a year. That is not a defeat. That is defiance. By late 1897, the British had broken the uprising. Nehanda was captured, then put on trial, then sentenced to death. Standing at the gallows, Nehanda refused to convert to Christianity. Her final words, "My bones will rise." 70 years later, the Second Chimurenga began. Zimbabwe's liberation war. Freedom fighters took Nehanda's name into battle. Her prophecy had come true. Today, Nehanda's statue stands in Harare. The First Chimurenga is taught in schools. The Chimurenga name became a symbol of African resistance everywhere. They had no guns, no air force, no empire. Hwalido, they had spirit, unity, and the courage to say no. That is the First Chimurenga. That is African power. If you believe African stories deserve to be told, subscribe right now. These stories are yours, and we are just getting started.